Italy is a peninsula in the Mediterranean Sea, and it has pasta and old people. A lot of them. 700,000 years ago, Italy was empty. Then it wasn't anymore. They make funny drawings and live in these cool houses, and now they have copper and iron. Wait, what's going on in Sardinia? It's the Nuraki people. They make stone villages, and they're pretty good at it. Talk. Who is there? The Greeks, said the Greeks, who now colonized all the south of Italy in what was known as the Magna Graecia. Meanwhile, in the rest of Italy, there are these kingdoms. Look at the Etruscans, aren't they beautiful? There's also a small village on the banks of the Tiber, but don't worry about it, it's not relevant. Actually, it was. I'm gonna make it simple. There were two brothers, Romulus and Remus. I want to found a city, said Romulus. Me too, responded Remus. Romulus didn't like that. He killed Remus and became the first king of Rome. After 6 other kings, Rome became a republic and it expanded a lot. Oh no, Caesar was killed, but his son is in power, and now Rome is officially an empire. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is near, said a guy from Judea. Never mind, they killed him. Or did they? Rome had a bunch of emperors, sometimes good, sometimes Caligula, but at least they created these cool things. Remember that guy from Judea? Everybody likes him now. It's Christianity time. But it's also time for something else. Oh no. The empire is broken, but it could be worse, right? Talk. Who's there? The barbarians, said hundreds of Germanic tribes crossing the Roman borders. But it could be worse, right? Actually, no. Rome is gone. Say hi to the barbarian kingdoms. Now Italy is under King Odoacer, still loyal to the Eastern Roman Emperor. Ah, fuck that guy, said the Emperor, who replaced him with Theodoric, king of the Ostrogoths. Italy is united again with Ravenna as the capital, and everything's fine. Psych. Theodoric is dead, and Belisarius wants Italy. And we are Roman again. Well, hi, said the Longobards. Can I have some of that? No, said the Byzantines. But the Longobards didn't care. You should give those lands back to the Byzantines. Nah, I'll give it to you. Cool, said the Pope, that now has his own state. Oh no, it's Charlemagne, and he just defeated the Longobards. Almost all of Italy is under the Franks now. Except for Benevento, they're cool. Remember Sicily? It's an emirate now. Remember Sardinia? It's an emirate now. Psych, they fought back.
They will never get us.
Meanwhile, they can't decide who will be the king of Italy. This guy? Or this guy? No, I will, said Berengar II. Nah, said Otto of Saxony, who married the queen and put Italy under the German crown. Hey, look. The maritime republics. They've got ports in which they trade and they make money. Knock. Who's there? The Normans, said the Normans, who conquered all the south of Italy. We want to be independent, said a bunch of cities in northern Italy. Why? The good climate and the end of invasions caused a demographic growth, which guaranteed manpower and urban development. Meanwhile, in northern Italy, the emperor is kind of absent, so the citizens started to deal with the local issues in assemblies called the communes. Cool, we don't need the emperor anymore. But the emperor came down to solve the problem, and it went something like this. Shut up, I'm the emperor, now submit to me or perish. Nah. Submit to me or perish. Understandable, said the communes, except for Milan and Crema, that were completely destroyed. The other cities were shocked, and the Pope too. So they created the Lombard League and they kicked the emperor's ass. Great, now they're independent.
But still formally under the empire.
Remember the Normans? Now they're under the empire too. Say hi to Frederick II. He loves culture and he was pretty chill with the Arabs. The Crusades were terrible for anyone, except for the Venetians. Oh no, the Pope and the Emperor are having a disagreement, and now Italy is divided in the Guelphs and the Ghibellines. Meanwhile, this guy from Florence is sending everybody to hell in the first book written in Italian. Knock. Who's there? The French, said Charles of Anjou, who decided to help the Pope to defeat the Holy Roman Empire. Hell no, we don't want to be under the Anjou, said the Sicilians, who for some reason are now under the Aragonese crown. Talk. Who's there? A mouse. A mouse? Yes, and he carried the... In the 1400s, Italy was a mess. Pisa, Genoa, and Venice were in war for the hegemony of the sea. But Pisa was conquered by Florence, who in the meantime conquered also the rest of Tuscany. Venice is also in war with Milan, which is getting pretty big under the Visconti family. Florence was allied with Venice, but then it changed side. They fought for like 50 years. But hey, at least we're in the Renaissance now, a period of art, discoveries, and humanism. What's humanism? It's a philosophical stance that puts the human being in the center of everything. In the second half of the 1400s, there's peace. Mostly thanks to this guy. Oh no, he just died, and Italy looks pretty invadable from outside. If you control Italy, you control the Mediterranean Sea, and that's why the Italian Wars started. It went something like this. 1494. Charles VIII of France conquers the Kingdom of Naples, but he's later defeated by the Italian lordships. 1515. Francois I of France conquers Milan, but he's later defeated by Charles V of Spain, who now controls Milan. 1527. Francois I and the Pope team up, but Charles V sends the Laziques to Rome, who sack it. Charles V is crowned King of Italy. 1559. The war is over, and now Spain owns the south of Italy, Sardinia, Milan, and a little bit of Tuscany. The rest of Italy is still a bunch of smaller states, well, except for Venice, that has a good number of territories overseas.
I'm sure this won't create any territorial tension in the future.
In the next 100 years, nothing important happens. Well, except for another... The 18th century is a mess. There are a bunch of wars, and Italy is constantly divided between other European powers. In 1748, Italy looks like this. Hey look, the House of Savoy has his own kingdom now. Everything is fine. What can possibly go wrong?
Bonjour.
But what did Napoleon do in Italy? He gave Venice to Austria. He created the Kingdom of Italy. He became king of the Kingdom of Italy, and he stole a bunch of painting.
Not the Mona Lisa.
After Napoleon, it's time for some restoration. Hey, you know what it would be cool? To stop being under some foreign powers and have our own country, said the Carbonari. So in 1821, they tried to fight the Austrians, but they failed. They tried another time in 1831, but they failed again. Can we have a constitution? No, please. No, please. Fine. Meanwhile, the Carbonari are still trying to... Wait. This time they managed to occupy Milan and Venice, and the other states of Italy joined them. Never mind, they lost again. But in 1861, the things are different. Meet the team. Garibaldi, Cavour, and Mazzini. Now Italy is a thing, but why stop here? In 1866, they also conquer Veneto and Friuli, and in 1870, they finally conquer Rome. In the rest of the 19th century, Italy tries to become an European power. They make some colonies, they have a couple of wars, and after the French refuse to give them Tunisie, they even enter in an alliance with Austria and Germany. Oh, never mind. We got Libya now.
Shut up, it's too late.
1914. Everybody is in the First World War dying and trying brand new weapons. Should we join the conflict? Hell no, said the neutralists. Hell yeah, said the nationalists, who wanted to conquer the remaining Italian territories under foreign powers. But those are my territories. Well, I guess we are at war now. And we change side. Turns out that winning a war isn't easy, especially when you fight it in the Alps, with suicidal tactics, under the command of this insane general. However, somehow Italy did win. But what did it win? Well, not what it expected. The nationalists were disappointed, especially this charismatic guy, who grouped other disappointed people and started to dress in black, beat up who didn't agree with them, and get into politics, until somehow they won the election and had complete power over Italy. But shouldn't the king stop them? Nah, they're chill. Actually, they were not. During the 20s and the 30s, Mussolini is the leader of the fascist regime. His power is founded on violence, propaganda, and a strict fascist doctrine. In 1939, Mussolini allies with his number one fan, a certain Austrian painter, and a couple of months later the Second World War starts. While Germany is getting pretty big, Italy is a complete disaster. In 1943, Mussolini is arrested and replaced with this guy, who decides to sign the armistice. Hitler didn't like that. He occupied half of Italy and deported thousands of Italian soldiers. The Italian territory is divided in half, with the RSY guided by Mussolini and Hitler in the north, and with the Allies in the south. The Italian Civil War has begun. After 2 years of slaughters and destruction, Mussolini is executed and Italy is liberated by the Allies. In 1946, the people voted Italy to become a republic. In 1947, with the European Recovery Program, Italy started to heal from the war. In 1949, it joined NATO, and in 1951, it took part in the European Union. In the following years, with a rapid industrialization and urbanization, Italy became one of the world's leading economies, with major growth in industries like automotive and fashion. On the other hand, there are terrorist attacks, mafia, and most of all, corruption. A lot of it. Talk talk. Who's there? The euros. Say goodbye to the lira. In 2008, there's an economic crisis, but in the following years, nothing important happens. Well, except for the